vote, and then you can come out here. There's going to be a lot of different live performances here today. We're going to have a good time, and of course everyone here is wearing their masks, they're socially distancing, and we have kind of some fun music groups that are showing up here as well today. It's going to be good.
And the DJ, of course, doing a great job as well. We've had Rihanna playing. Hannah's been dancing.
I've been dancing. We need to dance today.
I've got two left feet, so I'm gonna let you have all of the moves here today, Hannah.
It has been quite the playlist. That once again, you guys can come out here. You can vote down the street until 7 p.m. and we're going to be out here for the next couple hours as well.
And if for whatever reason you're watching us today and you're unable to vote today, of course you have until October 30th until you can early vote. And then of course the big election day is on November 3rd. Early voting sites are open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. every night. You can go to KVUE.com to check out some of those early voting locations. But again, Hannah, really record numbers we have been seeing across not only Travis County, but really in some places across Central Texas. Of course, Austin and Travis County made big headlines locally, but also across the nation this week when officials said that 97% of people who are eligible to vote in this election have registered to vote in this election. It really is unheard of and so overwhelming, like I said, that it really grabbed national headlines in recent days.
It's just been cool to see the initiative of, getting your friend group to go out and do it. We've seen a lot of stuff about sending emails to fellow coworkers, and I think social media has played an interesting role in this too. It's kind of exciting to post it on there. Hey, I did my part. It's, kind of like a virtual sticker, just going on there and letting people know.
Absolutely. And one of the reasons that we are out here today is, of course, any kind of community event KVUE wants to be part of. We want to be part of the Get Out to Vote message. Of course, no matter how you plan to vote, that's not what this is about. The message that we want to bring to you today is to vote, to exercise your constitutional right, in many cases, for many people, a hard-fought constitutional right to exercise to vote.
Absolutely. I love this energy out here today, and I know that KVUE was a part of that Pride event and different Pride events last year. Very sad to see that didn't happen this year, but this is still pretty fun, right?
This is totally fun, and of course KVUE was a proud sponsor of the Pride Parade, as you mentioned, last year. Unfortunately, the LGBTQ community here in Austin, as well as supporters of the LGBTQ community, excuse me,
right, it's awful.
Were not able to come together as a group and show solidarity in the way that we did last year. Hannah, last year the Pride Parade here in Austin was totally overwhelming in terms of just the volume of people. I think riding on that KVUE Pride Parade float was, for me, one of the highlights really of my life. Not to be overwhelming. It happened a couple of months before I got married to my husband, and really had a special significance not only in my own life, but I know many people who participated either as participants or just along the parade route really did carry a huge significance. And of course, Austin, known not only throughout Texas, but really across the world, across the nation and across the world, for its welcoming community of the LGBTQ community.
Absolutely. You drive downtown, you see rainbow flags everywhere, and it's a great feeling to be out here today and to support this group. And we've got a lot of fun interviews lined up for you. We've got a lot of live music going on today. And actually here in a moment, we are going to check over
to Daranisha. Daranisha has been talking to Nate Mansky, and hopefully in just a couple of moments we're going to go to her. Nate, though, grew up in the Austin area. He grew up in Driftwood. I had a conversation with him yesterday, a brief one, Hannah, just about why he wanted to put this event together. And Daranisha, I'm told, is ready with Nate, so we're going to actually go over to them. They're here on the grounds of City Hall as well. Daranisha, how are you today? How's it going over where you are?
Hey, good afternoon, Tony and Hannah. I'm here with Nathan. He is one of the main organizers of today's Pride event, or Pride at the Polls event. So let's go ahead and talk about what people can expect when they come out today.
Yeah, the whole day today is really about for people who might have ever felt like voting isn't for them. They might be intimidated. It just feels like democracy isn't for them. We're here to make them feel like they're part of a family, part of a community, that this democracy is for them. They do belong at the polls. So this is an event for everyone, so everyone should feel comfortable here. So
awesome, and we all know this is about voting, but it's also about unity, right? Everybody getting out here and having some fun, right?
Exactly. It seems like every time you watch the news, you're just watching two old people yell at each other and argue. But that's not what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. And it's people of all different ages and backgrounds and ethnicities and genders and just people of the world. And that's what we're going to see here today. So if you've ever felt like you don't belong in participating in democracy or voting, come see us. Come hang out with us. We're going to have a great time. We have some masks. Be safe. We have some water. We have some snacks. We're going to have some performances and speakers and some dancing and music, as you can hear.
Yes.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. Vote. I promise you will never have as much fun voting as you have here today.
Yes, the vibe is already here. We have people already dressed up and ready to have some fun. You said you voted on Tuesday. What encouraged you to get out to vote early?
Oh, what didn't encourage me to get out to vote early? Oh my God, I have just been awake for the past 4 years, and I'm just really fired up and energized. And I knew that today, because of Pride at the Polls, there might be a longer line at the Austin Central Library where we are. So there's no excuse voting. There's no excuse to not vote. So, I really wanted to get in there and vote as early as possible to make sure my vote is counted. And even though I voted on Tuesday, I still got my Pride at the Poll I voted sticker. So if you want the most special I voted sticker, come join us here today at City Hall. And we're encouraging people to go vote at Austin Central Library and then come back and party with us at the plaza.
Yes, so much fun. That sticker is pretty cool. And so you are encouraging people to come out and dress up, right?
Oh my God, we missed Pride this year and Queer Bomb because of COVID. So a lot of people have pent up pride. So this is the place to let it all out. Bring your most prideful outfit. You should look like you're a walking rainbow, I know I went a little tame today, but I wanted to represent Pride at the Polls with a shirt. But you see people in dressed full on rainbow gear. Put on your glitter, get your colorful wigs, and just come out your cute heels and your cute outfit. Just come looking cute, but more importantly, just come as yourself, because you're welcome here.
Yes, come ready to vote. Thank you so much, Nathan.
Yes,
we're going to have some fun out here, and you guys will be out here until 4 o'clock, right?
Oh, at least. It's officially till 4, but we'll be here till you're here.
We don't know when the party stops, but we'll be out here. We're going to toss it back to you and Tony and Hannah over there at the desk.
Thank you so much, Daranisha, and we appreciate you joining us as well, Nate. Again, the crowd is really starting to form here on the front lawn of Austin City Hall. In about an hour, we're going to be talking to Austin Mayor Steve Adler. He's got a special message for the LGBTQ community about getting out there to vote. Hannah, again, I know that just a little while ago we took a trip to the Austin Public Library where it was not all that crowded, actually.
Yep. It has been interesting. You see someone post, they're like, I waited 2 hours, and other people are sliding in and out. The point of the story is get out here no matter what and get it done. And,
the truth is standing in line can have its own element of fun as well, talking to people as we were this morning, make a new friend as well. Yeah, we had our coffee and we're visiting with some people. Of course, the lines, people are standing 6 feet apart. But in fact, let's go over now to Jake Garcia to see how it is going at the Austin Public Library, one of Travis County's early voting locations. Jake?
Hey, Hannah and Tony. Yeah, we're at Austin Public Library right now, and as you guys mentioned, still not much of a line yet. If anything, that's probably a good thing. It should encourage people to come out here, and it's a spot right now that does not have whatsoever a line at all, really. And I'm here with someone who just got done casting his ballot, Rob Groshowitz. He's a software developer here in Austin. And Rob, voting is personal. Everyone has a specific reason why they do it. For you this year, why did you feel like it was important to not just vote, but vote early?
Yeah, there are certain things going on right now, like in the government and the way the pandemic's been handled, that are just too big to ignore. So as soon as I could vote, basically once the lines went down, I got right here and voted. I've been voting for the past 6 years, basically since I could be able to vote every election, just because this is the one thing that's so important that basically impacts your entire life. Whether or not you see it immediately, but there is always an effect.
Now, you mentioned that you're a longtime voter, so clearly there was an upbringing there that fostered a willingness to participate in our democracy. Who was it for you that taught you the importance of voting?
Yeah, so my father was, I come from a very small town. He was on a lot of committees basically involved in that government. So every election, like I was there waiting for him to get done voting. So there's always been like this bloodline of voting for me.
That's really cool. Again, voting, such a personal story. If there's someone maybe at home right now, maybe they're watching this, who's still on the fence about considering voting this year, maybe they're considering not voting at all, what's your message to them? What would you tell them about getting out to the polls this year?
So they're making it pretty difficult for people to vote this year, but Travis County, any sort of great county that's not west of Austin, I guess San Antonio. But anyway, they make it super easy to vote. You have 3 weeks of early voting. The lines are pretty long. But if you look at the online trackers, you can see exactly when they're shorter than 20 minutes or so. It's pretty simple. Everything's all sanitized. Everyone wears a mask. You have little finger gloves that you can use to vote. There's basically no risk, and it's a lot of fun to be able to express your opinions in a legal way.
Well, early voting runs until October 30th. A great way to get prepared to vote is to head over to our website, KVUE.com. We have a comprehensive voting guide. Rob, thanks so much for taking the time today, and we appreciate you getting out to vote.
Thank you.
Hannah, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you so much. That was Jake Garcia there. Once again, I am outside of Austin City Hall, and this is where you come to after you get that done. Where Jake just was, that's where you vote. Come on down here. You've got live music, a lot of fun stuff, and I made some friends, y'all. Shocker, I know. I came over here, and we have Sister Gringa here, and then we have Sister Serena, and they look absolutely wonderful. We're going to learn a little bit tell us a little bit more about the group that you guys are with and why you're out here today.
We are with the Weird City Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. It's the Austin House of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. It's a nonprofit 501c3. We've been around for 40 years. Mostly we just engage our community and help raise money for other nonprofits doing good work in the community.
Absolutely love that. And why is it so important for you guys to be here and show up in all your glory and have, people out here and be involved in this?
Well, we just like to come out and have fun, and we think that when we manifest our fun and our joy in the world, that it all helps us come together and to reduce any harm that we might have and bring us all together as a community.
I love that so much. More joy in the world, and don't we need that right now? Things have been pretty tense, huh? I think we all need a little laughter.
Yes, indeed. Part of the imagery that we serve, harkens back to the sacred clown. So we're definitely here to be funny and make you laugh, make you smile, spread a little joy. And of course, right now it's so important to vote. We've got to let our voices be heard. And this is the way that our system lets us do that. And I'm really proud of Travis County with our really high registered rates.
Absolutely. And are you going to be a part of any of these live performances today? Or are you just showing up looking as beautiful as you do, just so everyone can see?
We are here to support and to help out somewhat with keeping an eye around for general security for the premises.
Absolutely. Best security guards I've ever seen. You guys are killing it. Please can we take a moment? I want you guys to just really see what's happening here. Once again, we have Gringa Hayes, we have Sister Serena, and just absolutely wonderful. And once again, they want to spread joy today, but most importantly, we want to get folks out here to vote. So once again, Austin Public Library right down the street, and then you guys can come out here and have fun with us because we're dancing and enjoying life, aren't we?
Yes.
There's a lot of fun performances happening. I'm seeing boas, I'm seeing all kinds of things set up here, right?
Yes, drag queens and drag kings.
Sequins, glitter.
Yeah, I saw glitter on the face. We love it. Anything else you want our viewers to know about this day?
It's a real nice day. Come out and have fun.
It stopped raining on us,
It's
y'all.
beautiful out
We showed up
here.
at first. It was so misty.
It's so nice and cool.
It's feeling
it's
good.
lovely. It's
Feels
a great
like
day.
fall, y'all, doesn't
Yes,
it?
It's a lovely fall day.
All right, wonderful. People are getting situated here. I think we're actually going to head back over to Darrenisha. Yes, we're going to head over to Darrenisha, and it sounds like she has made a wonderful friend as well. Hi, Darrenisha. Hey, Hannah. I'm here with Miss Amazing Head.
AKA?
The HBIC Queen of ATX.
You think he's gonna say the Queen of ATX. But she is today's MC, and she says she's ready to get the party started. What's going on here tonight?
Yes, make sure you guys come out here at the City Hall at the Pride at the Pole. We have a great lineup of drag performers and getting everyone to come out and go practice their right to vote. So far, it has been like 17 to 18 million, don't get me wrong, already early voting. So make sure you guys get out there and vote. I'm here with my daughter, Believe, to make sure that we keep up our legacy of voting. My grandparents died for the right for us, didn't die, but in that era, they died for the right for us to vote.
Yes.
So it's very important that everyone to go out there, early vote. You don't like what's going on, you have to get your active vote polls, period. And that's on God.
All right, and so you said that you haven't voted yet, but you plan on voting.
I'm voting today.
You're voting today?
I'm voting today
so
with my daughter next to me.
Yes, perfect. And so, you know, this is early voting, so what encouraged you to get out here and vote early?
Because we need to get this done. Coronavirus is real. They tried to stop us, they can't. So get here, let's all gang up, and let's be queer and Pride at the Pole and go out and vote. It's very important, though.
Yes, thank you so much. I know we're going to have so much fun out here. Like I said, Miss Amazing is the DJ that will, no, not the DJ, but the MC that will be out here MCing and making sure we're having some fun. As you can see and hear, we have the music going, people are showing up, people are dressed up. So if you do plan on coming out here, you can definitely put on your rainbow outfits, put on some glitter, put on some glam, listen to some music, and of course, head over to the public library and vote. And we're gonna head it back over to you guys over at the desk. Hannah?
All right, Darrenisha, thank you so very much. The energy and the enthusiasm really, Hannah, does continue to pick up out here. The crowd is also beginning to stream in. Again, it's the clouds sort of scale back and the sun is peeking through a little bit. I know when we first got out here it was just a little drizzly, but that's no longer the case. The temperature actually feels amazing.
Absolutely. Just as Hunter Williams told us, I was like, Hunter, is it going to rain on us out there?
promised.
He was like, you're going to be good, Hannah. I was like, all right. And here we are, a nice cool breeze for your waiting lines today.
And a taste of fall. I've not seen any pumpkins out here on the lawn at Austin City Hall, but driving here, actually, there are some pumpkin patches that continue to spring up across Austin. But this is where some great action is today. We're going to be out here throughout the afternoon, bringing you interviews from organizers as well as participants. But again, Hannah, just to stress, the intent of this today is really twofold. It is an opportunity for Austin's LGBTQ community to come together, but also the underlying message, the underlying theme is to come together and vote together. Austin City Hall historically has been a polling place. It is not this year, but the new public library just down the street where we have Jake Garcia is an early voting place. And again, as we've been saying in the last little while, the lines have not been long there today. So if you want something to do this afternoon, come on down here to Austin City Hall. Then you can walk over maybe with some new friends you might meet to cast your vote for the November 3rd general election. Hannah, obviously a huge election, a historic election really across the country this year.
And that is what has also been fantastic, not only the early voting, but the amount of people that are voting for the very first time. I mean, we have heard from, you know, even just older people who have never been a part of it before. And it's incredible to see how many people want to be a part of this conversation, and what a great time to do that and get it done, right?
Yeah, you know, I've lived here for 20 years and I have never seen the kind of turnout that we are seeing in this election. As we mentioned, obviously, people wanting to exercise their constitutional right, and for many communities, a hard-fought constitutional right over the past several decades to be able to have the right to vote here in our nation, our proud nation.
Absolutely. And what's so cool is there's multiple nonprofits, organizations that have all come together, and they really have said they want to be able to advocate for the LGBTQ community today and have that sense of community. And, you know, some of these, as we've heard earlier, they want to feel that togetherness. You don't have to go to the polls alone. You can get it done, and then you can come out here and have that sense of a community, and we can still have a safe day doing it, of course.
And of course, as COVID-19 has spread across our country, so many events, not only involving the LGBT community, but all of us. There is no one who has not been impacted by having some cancellation or not being able to see someone they're near and dear to, maybe because of travel restrictions. But officials say that today they want everyone to be able to come together as an LGBTQ community to cast their vote and really feel part of the community. Of course, everyone is practicing social distancing while they're out here today. People are wearing masks. Hannah, here it is. Somebody gave me, my friend Kathleen gave me this mask a couple of months ago. Actually, she gave it to me for Austin Pride, but unfortunately we were not able to celebrate Austin Pride this year. Last year was the first year that KVUE was a proud sponsor of Austin Pride. And again, Hannah, I know we were talking about this earlier, just seeing the tens of thousands of people on Austin streets as we rode the KVUE float from near the Capitol to this location right here at City Hall, to see the tens of thousands of people out there really showing their support for all people, including the LGBT community, really was striking, and again, so important to see. Austin, through many decades, has been welcoming, known across the country really as a welcoming community to people from all walks of life. Of course, that does extend to gays and lesbians, bisexual and transgender people as well.
Absolutely, and we keep talking about the word community, but of course during this pandemic, I think that sense and energy really has been lost. You even described the event last year, and I kind of got chills. I was like, I miss being at events like that, but of course, it is important to still take this seriously. We can still have fun today and do it in a safe way. Once again, we have a lot of interviews lined up for you, a lot of different performances. You can probably see behind us all kinds of fun going on, boas and tutus and fun outfits.
Absolutely, yeah. People are wearing whatever they want. They're wearing their regular clothes, they're wearing their pride shirts, maybe clothing that they purchased with the intention of wearing to Pride this year, but maybe didn't get a chance to.
Right.
But yeah, people are continuing to stream in here to the front lawn at Austin City Hall.
I'm still dancing, Tony. It's fun.
I know. Hannah has been dancing from the moment I got here.
I intend to get Tony to dance with me before we leave.
She promises she's going to get me to dance. People who know me know I have some real dad moves.
No, Tony, we love a good dad move. Come on now, y'all. Someone's got to get out here and get Tony Plahutsky to dance. You can go and vote first and then get out here.
Exactly. And Hannah, we're told that our friend Jake Garcia, who is just down the way here on Cesar Chavez at the Austin Public Library, is standing by. He's been out over there talking to voters in the last little while. Jake, how's it going over there?
It's going well, Tony. And I heard you and Hannah mention earlier, COVID-19 has impacted so many different people throughout this country, and I think an area of this country that it's impacted the most is the public education sector, and teachers especially. I'm actually here with a teacher right now who just got done voting. His name's Brad Smith. Brad is a calculus teacher at Westlake High School. And Brad, first of all, thank you for doing what you do, not both professionally and also your civic duty, getting done voting just now. Take me through why voting is special and an important thing for you to do.
I guess I always try to look at not just the way things impact me, but the way they impact other people in our society. And most people I think look at voting as like the president and the Senate and the House of Representatives, but there's so much even happening on smaller local and statewide levels that when you look and you're like, well, what happens in Washington doesn't really matter. And that's what I think a lot of people feel like. I think if you really look, something that you can vote for does impact your life and the life of your family and your neighbors and things like that. So to me, it's important to look not just what's happening, sorry, the mask slips down here, what's happening on a national level, which is where the media and stuff is mostly focused our attention on, but what's happening everywhere, on the state and local level too. And I think if you really looked at that stuff, you would find that it does impact your life and your community and things like that.
You are someone who not only felt it was important to vote this year, but to vote early. Why was that something that you made sure to do?
I think I wanted to make sure that I got to vote, and I was worried that if you wait till voting day and you go to your location and the lines are around the building, or you find, oh no, I'm gonna have to wait for 3 hours and I don't have 3 hours. If you do it early, I thought if the line is too long and I don't have time, I can come back another time. But if I waited till voting day, I was worried that if something happened and kind of impacted my ability to vote, you'd be out of time.
Right. And so maybe for people who haven't voted yet, what was that experience like in there? I understand that there are all sorts of COVID-19 regulations and guidelines and things designed to keep people safe. Can you give our viewers, I guess, an inside look of that experience?
Yeah, I guess at least here, it's in a really big room, so everything's really spaced out really well. They give you a little finger protector so that you're not having to touch screens and things like that. Your sign-in process is the same way. You don't really have to hold a pen that other people have held and things like that. They're requiring masks. The whole line is spaced out and things like that, so it feels about as safe as I think things could feel right now.
I'll leave you with this. Say there are people at home right now who are maybe on the fence about voting, and we're having so much fun today. I don't know how you can still be on the fence about voting, because it's a lot of fun to do. But there are people out there who maybe don't feel as connected. What is your sales pitch to them about why this is something that's a rewarding process?
I think it's part of our duty as Americans that we have the freedom to vote, and a lot of people don't. And so I think it's something you should practice just for that fact. And then same as what I was saying earlier, I think if you really looked into issues and people that are running across the board, you'll find that something impacts your life, your family's life, your community's life, and not to make it just about you, but to think about how does this impact what's going on in the world, what's going on in Austin, what's going on in your neighborhood. I think you'd find that there is reason to go vote. And that not voting doesn't make any sense.
There you go. Well, Brad, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and thanks for participating in the political process.
All right, thank you.
Darrenisha will now send it over to you.
Alrighty, thank you, Jake. I'm here at the Austin City Hall, and it's so much fun. The music is jumping already, as you can hear. Let's just kind of walk around so you guys can get a feel of what's going on here. Some people are starting to show up. We're having a little slow start because of the weather, but it stopped raining, so that's exciting. You can see we have some queens over here. And I just spoke with a few earlier today who said they're warming up and getting ready for their performances. And honestly, if you're coming out here today, you are encouraged to dress up, wear some rainbow colors, some glitz, some glam. But also, this event is not only for the LGBTQ community, but it's also for everyone. And this is an inclusive event. So if you've never voted before, this is a great way to come out and kind of loosen up before that vote, because we have the music going and people are dressing up. And honestly, after speaking with Nathan, one of the main organizers today, he said the goal is to bring unity to everyone, right? This is for the entire community to come out and have some fun and loosen up and vote, because why? That's the most important thing, to get out and vote early. And we're just gonna keep walking around here so you can see. So people are getting ready. I'm ready for you guys to stand up. Come on. But yeah, guys, we're getting ready. So I'm gonna toss it back to you guys over at the desk, but hopefully things started getting a little liver over here, and I'll show you around. Hannah?
Hi, everybody. Thank you again, Darrenisha. And our crowd really is continuing to get louder, more enthusiastic out here again, out front of Austin City Hall. I want to introduce you to a couple of new friends. We've been making friends the whole time that we have been out here today, but let me introduce two of them to you. We've got Violet Ward and Robin Rose Quartz. Ladies, show us your fans. Well, and your fans. They say vote, and that, of course, is the big reason we are out here today. They want everybody in the community, and especially the Austin LGBTQ community, to get out and vote. So how is it out here for you today, Violet?
It is amazing. I look fabulous. I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm just, I just woke up like this, and she's ready to vote. I'm ready to vote today, and I hope to see more people do that today.
And so, okay, so take us through your whole process of getting ready. How long does it take to look this gorgeous?
I literally just put a moisturizer on and a light lip, and then I just walk out the door. No, actually, it takes about 2 hours to look this fabulous. It's like stage makeup and then a lot of pigmented eyeshadow. Yes.
I love it. Well, you both simply look amazing. How is it out here for you today?
It's fabulous. I'm so happy to be here and here to support the community and raise our voice and vote today.
Can you talk about why it is so important that people exercise their right to vote?
That's exactly, you put it exactly, I couldn't have said it better myself. It is our right to vote, and it's so important for our LGBTQIA+ community and other minority communities to use their voice and use their platforms to vote and advocate for voter advocacy.
How did you ladies first hear that this event was going to be happening today, and what made you want to be involved?
So I've worked with Nathan, who's one of the organizers with this before for events in the past, and I'm also one of the Drag Out the Vote ambassadors here in Austin, Texas. If you don't know, you can go dragoutthevote.org, and we just try to make sure that we have all that information out there for everybody to have, and what better way than bring everybody together at City Hall and make a statement, right?
This is so fun and so incredible to see. Okay, so tell me, have you ladies voted yet?
I waited specifically for today, so I wanted to do it in this just all my glory.
So you're off to City Hall.
I'm off to
the public library after this. How about you? Have you voted?
Absolutely. No, I saved it just for this day. I wanted to sashay to the polls and cast my vote as fabulous as I could.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, we're going to maybe even tag along with you as you walk, as you sashay, as y'all say, down to the public library. Thank you, ladies, both so much for joining us, and continue to have fun out here.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for being here. Absolutely. So again, in just a little while, we're going to have some speakers here at Austin City Hall. Austin Mayor Steve Adler is going to be out here in just a little while. He's going to be joining us with a special message for Austin's LGBTQ community about the importance of voting. And again, as we've been saying for the last little while, I mean, Austin and Travis County has continued to shatter just unprecedented, absolutely unprecedented early voting records, with more than 30,000 people voting each day since early voting started on Tuesday. Again, there are a number of polling locations, early voting locations throughout the county, though you can find those on the Travis County Clerk's website. We've also got extensive information on our website, KVUE.com, where you can learn more about maybe locations that are closest to you, where your home or your work, where maybe you perhaps want to vote. But also, again, the Austin Public Library is open until 7 p.m. tonight. So if you want to come here, have some fun, listen to some music, make some new friends, and then walk down to the public library. The line has not been long at the Austin Public Library so far today, but Jake Garcia is there. We're going to him from time to time so he can bring us an update on what the scene is there. As I mentioned, I went and voted myself early this morning, got there just after 7 a.m. The line was long, but even still, though it was daunting to see when we first arrived, we were able to get in and out in about 35 minutes. So not really long in the overall scheme of things. Now we want to go back over to Darrenisha Heron, who is out front of City Hall as well, making some new friends. Darrenisha, how's it going?
Hey Tony, we're over here having fun. We're getting it. I'm here with Alexander the Great, and he's representing the kings out here, right? The drag kings.
Yes, I am.
We can hear a lot about the drag queens, but let's talk a little bit about the queens. I mean the kings.
Yes. So drag kings, you might not hear us too often, but drag kings are performers who represent, outside of what you would typically see at a drag queen show. as you see, I'm presented masculine and here looking just as fabulous as everyone else.
Yes, I love the hair, the glitz and the glam. I'm loving the outfit.
Thank you.
So, have you voted yet?
Today, I'm voting today here at Pride at the Polls.
Awesome,
Yes.
awesome, amazing. And so what encouraged you to get out and vote early instead of waiting to November 3rd?
Yes, I wanted to make sure that my voice was counted. I wanted to go ahead and just get it done and leave space for other folks who need that time. So
Awesome. And do you vote all the time, or is this your first time voting?
actually, yes, I vote in every election. This is my 4th presidential election voting in, so I'm really excited. Yes.
It's good you're voting, so you're getting out and voting again?
Absolutely.
Okay, and so you're not performing today, but you are a performer.
Yes, I am. I'm also transgender and just out here representing for transgender people, trans masculine people. It's important to get the queer folks out to vote, and yeah, let's do it. Let's turn out the queer vote.
Awesome. And I don't want to know who you're voting for, but what do you want to come out of this election?
Yeah, I want to make sure all of our voices are heard. So I want to make sure that people are voting, that we are choosing candidates in office that will actually represent for what the people need and want.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's show his outfit. I'm loving this. Drag King. There we go. Drag King. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Alexander. All right, and like I said, we're going to be out here at least until 4 o'clock. Well, the event will be happening until 4 o'clock. And from what I heard from Nathan, it could go a little bit longer if things get a little too exciting. So again, you can come out here and vote at the library, which is just like a 3-minute walk from here. I'm hearing that the lines are not too bad. So come out here, vote, and come over back here to City Hall, have some fun, and let's level up. Hannah, Tony, I'm gonna have to pass.
Minutes before they actually come to us. So.
Awesome, Darrenisha. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're back out here live in front of Austin City Hall with Austin Mayor Steve Adler, who's wearing his vote mask this morning.
I am. What an exciting
It's great
time.
to see you. Yeah.
Tony, thanks for doing this. Everybody needs to vote. We need people to do that. And if there was ever a time to do it,
I love it.
This is the election.
And what a campaign season this has been, really not only here in Austin, but across the country. Why is it so important, particularly right now, in this moment in history, that people exercise their right to vote?
You know, I think in this election, the choices have never been more clear, more extreme. You know, there used to be a day when people would say there was no real difference between the major parties, nothing really significant on a ballot. That is clearly not true here. The differences couldn't be more extreme. The choice more clear all the way through the ballot. So it's not just the president, but it's for the control of the state legislature. It's real important local elections based on what the city council's been doing. Proposition A and B on the ballot. Incredibly important thing. So from top to the bottom, everything seems to be important this time, evidenced by how many people are voting. It's just exciting to see us setting new records every day.
Yeah, what do you attribute that? I mean, from where you sit as you know, the top elected leader in Austin. Obviously, you've lived here a long time as well. But we are truly seeing absolutely not only a record number of registered voters, but of those registered voters, they're going out in huge numbers right now.
And the early voting makes it look like 30% of the people that are voting are people that have not voted in a general election before. So it's a lot of new voters that are voting. And I think that everybody, it seems, is ready to crawl across glass in order to be able to vote in this election. There are so many things that are happening here and around the country to make it more difficult for people to vote. I think everybody is just so determined and needs to be. Everybody needs to vote in this election. And I think that it's the issues, it's the anticipation. Heck, in Texas now we're seeing presidential commercials for the first time.
Right.
Texas was never at play before, so I think there are just a lot more people involved, a lot more people that have been waiting for a long time to vote.
Obviously, we're seeing record numbers, but at the same time, Austin, historically, over many, many years, many decades, has been a very civic-minded community as well. How are you seeing that play out in this election as well?
You know, I'm really proud to be part of this community because of the civic participation on all sides. And the fact that here in Travis County, 97% of the eligible voters got registered.
Right.
Is a number that's just off the chart. I think the state
Yeah, we made
average is
national headlines all week because of it.
the state average is like 78%. I mean, we are so far ahead. Yes, I have mayors all over the country right now that are calling me and asking me how you begin to get the 97%.
It's something to be proud of for our community.
The entire community, everybody, regardless of what party you're in. The fact that 97% of registered is extraordinary, but registering is not important if you don't vote. You actually have to vote, and people are doing that. We have to keep that momentum going.
Mayor, I know that you, for forever, in the time that I have known you, have always been a friend and ally to Austin's gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, questioning community. This event is Pride at the Polls, so I want to ask you, what is your message, particularly to the LGBTQ community today?
Your vote is your voice. And if government is going to be responsive to these issues, to issues of fundamental fairness and equity and access, then we have to vote. You know, the Supreme Court decision that made marriage something that was a right for people here and everywhere only was approved by one vote on the Supreme Court. It was a 5-4 decision. Elections matter. And that's why it's so important that people come out, especially when fundamental rights are at stake. Not only at the national level, but I look at what's happening up at the state legislature. And there are ugly hints of efforts that could come in this session with respect to taking away the rights of the LGBT community in one way or another, which is why everybody has to vote in the state house elections. There is so much on the line this election. Everyone needs to vote, especially those communities that are fighting to defend and preserve fundamental rights.
You know, I always have to ask you something personal. Have you voted yet?
I have not voted. You know, and there's if you vote, you get taken off the mailing list, people that are sending out campaign material. And I'm a political junkie, and I like getting the materials closer to the end. But I tell you, I'm not going to wait till the end.
I was just going to ask, will you vote election day?
Wrong.
Yeah.
So I plan on voting next week.
Okay.
And made a plan to be able to vote. I think Diane and I are going to vote, make it a family affair. And we'll go down and vote together about in the middle of early voting period of time. I don't want to wait till the end. People shouldn't be thinking about November 3rd as election day, just as the last possible day to vote. Vote early if you can, but vote regardless sometime.
And people have, of course, until October 30th to early vote. There are a number of polling places across the city and really across the county where people can exercise their right.
It's really easy to vote and it's safe to vote. They're spreading people out. There's plexiglass with the voting attendants. You don't touch anything that other people have touched, so it's safe. Everybody should do it. You could go to, votetravis.com, and you can look and see what the wait time is at locations. You can vote at any location. You don't have to vote at the one that's closest to where you live and work. It's really easy to vote. People should be doing it.
Mayor, one final question. I know that so many people will have the inclination to be with their friends, to be with their family, to be with any number of people, to celebrate or to at least watch what happens on November 3rd. We cannot forget we are still in the middle of a pandemic, a global pandemic, and we're continuing to, of course, closely watch as those COVID-19 numbers rise across the country. What is your advice and about how to spend that evening, and how will you spend that evening?
You know, Tony, thank you for bringing this up, because you're so right. I am so proud of this community for having worked so hard to get the numbers as low as we've gotten them. But if you look at cities around the country and around the world, when cities get to this place, they begin to lose focus and discipline. And now the numbers are going up, and we're watching in Europe that they're actually closing down businesses again. We have to fight to keep our schools open. We have to fight to keep our businesses open, which means we have to be religious about masking, about keeping social distance, about washing our hands, and no large groups, no big parties. And it's going to kill me not to be around physically a lot of people on the night, Tuesday, November 3rd. Frankly, I'm going to feel the same way on Halloween night on the 31st. But on both those days, on the 31st and on the 3rd, we're going to have to be with our friends virtually. So I plan to be on the phone a lot. I plan to be on the computer a lot. There's probably going to be a lot of Zooming and Teams and whatever you use. But you're absolutely right. We have to resist the urge if we want to maintain the opening of schools.
Mayor Steve Adler, thank you so much for taking the time to come out here to join us for a few minutes today. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that.
Tony, thank you, and thank KVUE for helping to sponsor this event.
Absolutely. Thanks again. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
All right, good to see you. And now we want to go back over to the Austin Public Library, again, one of the early polling places, and that's where Jake Garcia is standing by. Jake, how's it going? How are those lines?
Hey Tony, the lines are still not super long, but it's starting to get a little bit more crowded, especially than what we saw around noon today. So that's definitely a good sign. People really showing their pride when it comes to getting out to the polls. And I'm with Shay Davidson here, who just got done with that experience at the polls. Shay, for you, this was a family affair. Your sisters are over there. All three of you, or four of you rather, decided to come today and do it together. What was the experience like, and how special was it that, this is a moment that you got to share with your family?
Yeah, it was really cool. We always go vote, of course. It's really important to us to make sure we're getting our vote out there. But it was really exciting today. We were talking on the way over how cool it was that it was an event and it wasn't just, let's go wait in line and pass the vote and then go home and be done with it. We get to kind of celebrate, dress up, go celebrate Pride, go down to City Hall afterwards. We're really excited.
I wanted to ask you specifically about Pride at the polls.
Yeah.
Voting for some people maybe feels like a chore. Today, though, there is a fun event attached to it. First of all, how much fun are you going to have? Second, what does it say just about the work of the LGBTQ group down there that they thought of an idea like this?
Yes, it's brilliant. I have never experienced this with LGBT group or with any other group anywhere else. My sister told me about it a couple weeks ago and we were so excited. It makes such a big difference to not, again, like you said, just be a chore, and to be able to kind of have a party with it and celebrate this right that we have and celebrate this thing that we're getting to do, and then go have a little party afterwards.
Voting is something that's so important, and this year voting early especially. Why was voting early, coming well before November 3rd, something that you and your sisters wanted to make sure you did this year?
Yeah, so we obviously there's a lot of concern this year with voter suppression, with potentially things happening, and it was really important to us to not risk that we got our vote in. We wanted to make sure there was no chance of any delays, any waiting in lines and missing deadlines. If we come early, then we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to stress out on the 3rd, and we're just good to go.
Off camera, before we started this interview, you told me a story as to just how the importance of voting was instilled in you at a young age. Can you tell us, our viewers, about that?
Yeah, so growing up, my mom and my older sisters just made a really big deal about voting, and made a really big deal about, this is a right that we have, and this is something that we can actively do to shape our country, to point it in the direction that we feel like it needs to go. And I remember growing up and having a lot of my peers saying, it doesn't really matter, it's just one vote, especially in Texas, one vote is not going to swing it. And I remember my whole life just having this really strong conviction that that's absolutely not true, that even if there's not a lot of things that we can do to change the current climate, one of the things we really can do is to vote. So why would we not do that? It's so easy, so simple, and today, you can do it and have a lot of fun with it.
You've kind of answered this question already, but I wanted to ask it directly. If there's someone at home right now, maybe they're watching this live show on KVUE, and they're like, I'm still on the fence about whether or not I'm voting this year. What's your message to them? What's your pitch as to why they should come and participate in this process?
Yeah, I would say come out for the party. Honestly, I was in and out in maybe 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes, click a few buttons, and then celebrate. You get to dress up, you get to see your friends, you get to have a little bit of social interaction in this climate today. Just do it.
Well, thanks so much, Shay, for the time. We really appreciate it. Daranisha, we'll send it back over to you right outside City Hall.
Hey Jake, thank you for sending it over here. We're back at City Hall. I'm here with one of the organizers. His name is Rudy. He's a part of Austin Latinx Pride. And right before we got on camera, you were telling me that you are a DACA recipient, and so you are not able to vote, but you are a big part of today's event. Why did you think it was so important for you to put this on, even though you can't vote yourself?
When Nathan brought the idea to Austin Latinx Pride and Sheldon from Austin Black Pride, as a community organizer and a community member, I've lived here my whole life. I've done everything that I could. I went to school, I graduated from UT Austin, and I pay taxes and everything, but I don't have a say in politics. The way that I get involved in my community is organizing events like this. And all our queer siblings that are voting today, I think they're really courageous and exercising their right to vote and to ask their elected officials to see them as people, not just as numbers.
Awesome. I think this is an amazing event, and the fact that you can vote and still put this on is just really shows the type of person you are. So congratulations to you. This is amazing. And so what would you have to say to those people who are not thinking about voting? Because you want to vote, but you don't have the ability. So what do you have to say to those out there who think this is a joke or think it's not important or their vote don't count?
Your voice counts. Sometimes you can't speak to your elected officials like we're talking now, but you can speak to them using your vote. What I say is think about those things that matter to you the most, your children, your partners, your parents, your coworkers, and ask yourself, do I want to be courageous? Do I want to support them because I love them? And can I get past my insecurities to speak up? And so voting matters, and I hope everyone that can does vote.
Thank you so much, Rudy. That was so inspirational. I really appreciate you talking to us. It looks like today's event is about to start kicking off, and as you can see, people are just kind of standing around getting ready for things to get a little lively here. It's a pride event. People are dressed up, and there you go. You see she dancing. She has her sign, "Vote Proud, Vote Now." Yes, I love it. I love the dress. So we're out here just having fun and really just relaxing and loosening up this experience that could be pretty intense for some of us, right? So come out here, have some fun, vote early over here at the library, and come back over here to City Hall and party with us. I'm gonna toss it back to you guys over at the desk.
You speak, Jazz. Even I did the last interview together. We can both speak. Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome back. Once again, we are outside of Austin City Hall. We are keeping the party going, aren't we, darlings?
Yeah.
I want each of you to introduce yourself first off.
Hello, I'm Alicia Pretty. I'm the pretty one.
Yes, you are the pretty one, sweetie. I noticed you from far away, and you sparkle.
Stop. It's Maeve Haven.
Maeve Haven, we love Maeve Haven.
And my name's Jezebel.
Jezebel, these lovely, they just walk in, you guys have such a presence. And why are we out here today? Why is it so important to be out here at this event?
We are here to make sure everyone knows, hey, it's comfortable. You can do it with your friends, with your family, and it's important to do so. So come out and join us and vote and do the things.
You said be with your family. You guys have been, close friends for a number of years now. I'd love to hear a little bit more about this community and what it kind of means to you to have that sense of unity right now.
I think it's just important for all of us within, we say, chosen family. So no matter what walk of life you came from, you have a family here within the LGBTQ plus community, and you make these lifelong friendships where you get to go out and have fun, but you also get to build each other up to come to cool events like this in order to make changes that will support our family.
And I know it's been hard during the pandemic to not really have that community and not be able to be at these events. I guess what do you feel kind of today, seeing this energy and people kind of dancing and having a good time?
This is so exciting. I've missed this so much. Drag has always been about, for me, entertaining and making people happy and helping them just, get out of their stress for a little while. So getting to merge voting and democracy, which are awesome and important, with drag and being queer, which is also super awesome, is just amazing. It just makes my heart happy.
Okay, so let's do a little dance, right? I've been trying to get Tony to dance with me all day. You guys got to teach me some of your moves you do. Of course, the music stops right when I said.
You're my dance.
I'm so sad. I've been trying to get Tony to dance with me. Okay, guys, and just a second here, they're actually starting off their event. So once again, if you're just hopping on here, you can vote down the street at the library, and here at the Austin City Hall is where the live portion is happening. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Is there anything else you really want our viewers to know today to come out?
Come out, have fun, make your voice heard, and be with family.
And vote. Vote.
And wear glitter. And wear glitter.
You can vote, be with family, and you can wear glitter while doing it. That is wonderful. Thank you guys so much. And we're actually here in just a second going to, I believe, head back over either to Jake or Daranisha. And once again, we have Daranisha, who is out in the crowd. We're kind of really getting this energy going, getting folks out here today. People have been stopping all day. It's just a good time, right? We're just having fun. I don't think I'm done with y'all yet. We're just gonna keep dancing here without. We don't need music.
No, without the music. It's in our head constantly.
You told me that you two have kind of a routine. Tell me more about that.
No, they have a routine.
We're the Beckys.
Oh, the Beckys. Okay, do a little Becky spiel for me.
That was entirely. Oh, yeah.
Oh yes. Here's the Beckys. Okay. Wait, I just feel good when I am around them. I love this. All right, guys, we're actually going to head back over to our girl, Daranisha, and she is out in the crowd right now. Now, Daranisha, we're tossing it over to you.
Hey, Hannah, things are starting to kick off on this side of the City Hall. As you can see, Miss Amazing that we spoke with earlier today is kicking off the event. She's today's MC. And I'm going to just step aside so you guys can see what's happening over here. And like I said, she's kicking off the event. People are here, they're dressed up, and most importantly, they are here and ready to get their voices heard and cast their vote. We're going to be out here, well, the event will last until 4 o'clock. But like I said, we're trying to have some fun, and I'm gonna just let you guys listen in to what's happening right now.
Texas tent, hey. Okay, Austin Pride, Austin Latin Pride, and Austin Outpost. And as well.
Yes, okay, so like I said, we're out here getting things ready so soon. We should start seeing some performances. I spoke with some performers. They were warming up. They had their flags and dancing. So I'm very excited to see what's the performers and what's going to happen out here. But again, we're going to be out here for a while. So come out, dress up, wear your glitz, wear your glam, then head over to the library, cast your vote, come back over here to Austin City Hall, and come party with us, come dance with us, because we're here to have fun. And this is not just for the LGBTQ community. This is for everyone in the community who wants to just come out here and be together, have some form of unity, because a lot of people that I spoke with, a lot of voters, they say this election has been very intense. This year has been very intense for all of us. So this is a chance for us to cast your ballot and have some fun with everyone and a big part of the community. And so I'm going to toss it back over to you guys over on the other side of City Hall, but as soon as those performances start going on, we'll be here to show it to you.
Lead organization of Pride at the poll. Thank you. You guys go make a round of applause for Nathan Mansky. Thank you so much.
I mean, because I'm hearing an echo.
I love it so much, but you won't be able to hear me very well. So thank you all so much for coming out today. This is a really exciting event, and the funny thing is that the idea for this came to me 7 weeks ago, and we were able to pull this off in such a short amount of time. The reason we were able to is because of our amazing partners. So I want to give them a shout out right now. Austin Black Pride, the Trans Education Network of Texas, TED, Black Queer Lives Matter, ATX, Austin Latinx Pride, Austin Outpost, and Austin Pride. And a quick, short little story. About a month ago, I went to a rally in East Austin that was organized by the Black Queer Lives Matter ATX group, and I was on time, so like nothing was set up yet, and I was definitely early for a queer event. And I ran into somebody who was like stuffing bags and getting ready, and I started to help, and I was like, "Hey, do you know the organizers here?" And he's like, "Well, I'm one of them." And I was like, "Oh, well, I have this idea of having like this thing at City Hall and having like an early voting day for queer people." And he was like, "Oh, well, I've organized rallies at City Hall, but hey, I don't have time to organize a rally at City Hall, but I'm fine if you just ask me a couple of questions." And I was like, "Okay, let me get your number." And it turns out, you know, he basically organized the entire thing. So Matt, where are you? Matt, thank you so much. Also, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for you to get as involved, but it just happened naturally. It wasn't my sinister plan, I promise. But thank you for all your help. The idea for Pride at the Polls is very simple. I wanted to create an act that is thought of as boring and dry and a lot like a chore, voting, and make it entertaining, fun, and inviting. Pride at the Polls is for people who have at any point in their life felt like voting isn't for them. And I have something very important to say though. The shaming of non-voters has to stop. And it has absolutely no place at Pride at the Polls. If someone hasn't voted, it's because they haven't found their fire. And if you find someone who hasn't voted, take it on as your own responsibility to help them find their fire. That is what will create voters. So, you know, one way to do it is just ask them one important issue that they care about, and then if they answer and you start talking about it, you just created an engaged voter. And that's, they're now engaging in politics. And that leads to people to voting and to coming out. So, you know, encouraging people to vote instead of shaming them for not voting is always the better option. You know, we've heard it a million times, build bridges, not walls. That's all part of it. So that's what I hope today is for everyone. I want people to feel welcome. I want them to feel like they belong. And what you're experiencing right now, that feeling of togetherness, of community, this is politics, believe it or not. Like, we are politics right now. Grammar be damned, we are politics. And we are engaging in civic duty, as boring as that sounds, but we're doing it. One final thing, every single person that you see on this stage today and working and helping out is a volunteer. They're volunteering their time and their very hard and important work. We have placed Venmo QR codes around the plaza. 100% of the proceeds will go to them. Everyone is volunteering because they believe in what Pride at the Polls represents. So tip generously if you're able, and if you're not able, tell your rich friends to do it. Thank you all so much for coming out. We have a really fun afternoon planned, so have a great time. And also, vote if you haven't. You can get this amazing I Voted sticker. If you've already voted, you can have one also. So thank you again for coming out.
That's you, yeah.
How are you? And back out here live at Austin City Hall, where we are very excited to have an opportunity to talk to the hardest working lady in Austin and Travis County right now, Travis County Clerk Dana DeBeauvoir. And Dana, are you just blown away by what we have seen over the past 4 days here in Travis County?
We are completely thrilled. I was thinking that we would have a really robust first day and then things would calm down, and that's not what voters are doing at all. They keep coming out in bigger and bigger numbers every day. So it is not a bit out of line to expect that we're going to break every record we've ever set before in Travis County. At least, I think, 650,000 people are going to vote in this election.
And what you said just before we came on, Dana, is that as of yesterday, 154,000 people have voted in person here in Travis County.
That is correct, in person. And that doesn't count the ballots that we've already gotten back in from voters through the mail, or the 11,000 that have come through hand delivery.
So Dana, what are people telling you about, why this just massive turnout? What are you hearing? What are you learning?
They talk to me about pent-up demand. They've wanted to vote for a long time. They felt like this campaign has gone on long enough, and now they're ready to make their choices known. And they're incredibly kind to one another. Everybody's wearing a mask. Everybody's socially distancing. It's safe to go inside the polling place. And they're all I'm just really proud of them. It's heart-rending to watch this in action.
Dana, talk to us, from your office, how much time and effort did you put into preparing for what is unfolding right now?
Weeks and thousands upon thousands of dollars are what's gone into making this election safe. To give you an idea of just how much effort is going on, it would have cost Travis County approximately $2.2 million to put on a regular presidential election. This election, with all of the different kinds of polling places and all the protective equipment for voters, is costing us $6.9 million. That will give you an idea of how much bigger and more extensive the outreach is this time to make sure that these polling places are safe.
But the county has been prepared not only for COVID-19 concerns, but just the turnout as well, right?
Well, yes, we're doing just fine. It's all going very smoothly, so I'm thrilled with that. I just invite more people to come out. If you vote earlier, it's easier on you, and it's easier on the post office, and it's easier to get results out early on election night, and we're going to try our best to do that.
Yeah, what is your prediction for that night, at least for what you have control over here in Travis County? We know that nationally it may be a long night or who knows even what may happen afterwards. But what are you prepared for that night here in Travis County?
I think Travis County is going to fare well. By the time we gather up all of the by-mail ballots that have been sent in, we will have an 11-hour throughput. So we'll get everything all prepped in the days ahead, and then on election day, starting first thing in the morning, we'll start scanning and tabulating those by-mail ballots, because we want to give you the results for that at the 7 p.m. first release of election results on election night.
So we're going to have a good idea really early on how things are looking in Travis County.
Yes, I think so. We'll spend all of election day just tabulating by mail, and then election night will be everybody that voted on election day.
Dana, I want to ask you, and I know that for many years, in the years that I have known you, you have always been an ally for the LGBTQ community. One thing that I remember personally is on the day of the Oberfeld decision that legalized marriage equality across our land in 2015. While a lot of clerks across the state and across the country were trying to figure out what all that meant, you were ready to go. You began issuing licenses that day to same-sex couples. I was out there covering. I remember it very well at the time. We're obviously at Pride at the Polls today.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, as I asked Mayor Adler when he was here a moment ago, what is your message to the LGBTQ community about getting out to vote? What is your message?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I would say love is love, and it always deserves our respect and taking care of one another. The second thing is that, my gosh, we want everybody to vote. I want everybody to feel comfortable. You are more than welcome at either early voting or election day places, and we want you to add your voice to everybody else's. Don't be silent now.
And for the ability to vote, as we know, has been hard fought for many communities across our country.
Yeah, we're still fighting hard in Travis County to get a decent right to vote. Interrupting the hand delivery, abruptly shutting it down in the middle of its first day of operation wasn't good for voters, and it's not good for the election. We need to not have to put up with that again.
Were you just blown away, though, when you saw that 97% of the people who were eligible to register had, in fact, done so?
Well, weren't we all surprised? Because trying to register people in the middle of a pandemic, that's really tough. So all of those volunteer registrars out there, we love you.
A lot of work has gone into making sure that this is not only a safe, but a seamless election here in Austin, Travis County.
Yes, we hope it will be. We're making arrangements to get all of the ballot boxes into the central counting station. There's going to be extra security at central counting station, so the only people that are there are the people who are working. It won't be as much of a show as it has been in the past because we can't let people inside because they might contaminate the innocent election workers. And I owe them an obligation as an employer to provide them with a safe workplace.
Safety. Absolutely. County Clerk Dana DeBeauvoir, Travis County Clerk Dana DeBeauvoir, thank you so much for joining us. As I said, she is the hardest working lady in Travis County right now. How much sleep are you getting? Let me ask you before we go.
I actually got 7 hours sleep last night, so I'm feeling great. It is a little hard to sleep, but that's okay. A bunch of other people are losing sleep over this too. We're just going to get through this together. We're going to keep soldiering on.
That's right, and here in Travis County and Austin, we have something special in terms of our sense of community and working together during unprecedented times. We've seen that over and over.
They're great people here.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Dana, for taking the time to come out here today.
Thank you. Y'all go vote.
I hope you enjoy a few minutes of the music and fun.
I was here earlier. What fun this is. I love the costumes.
I know, the costumes are great. And speaking of fun and music, we're going to go back over to the stage now in just a couple of minutes. But again, we're going to be here throughout the afternoon. We've got Jake Garcia, who is down at the Austin Public Library. We've been going to him. He's been talking to voters who are using this day to continue to get out to vote. Again, just to remind you, you've got until October 30th if you want to cast your ballot early. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at any number of early voting locations throughout the county. You can find those on our website as well as the Travis County Clerk website. And using the Travis County Clerk's website, you can actually try to figure out how long the wait time is at some of these locations. Zaranisha Heron has also been out here as well, talking to some of the folks who are having a great time here, again, in front of Austin City Hall. Austin City Hall historically has been a voting location. It is not this time, but it is down the street, down Cesar Chavez at the Austin Public Library, the new Austin Public Library. And again, if you have not voted early and are thinking about doing so, let me tell you, the lines have not been particularly long. People have not had particularly long waits at the Austin Public Library. So it is a good spot today if you want to go cast your vote today. Now let's go over to Daranisha Heron, who is over on the front lawn at Austin City Hall. Daranisha, how's it going over there?
Hey Tony, I am here with my girls. They just voted. They're here with a couple of their friends. So guys, how was the voting experience?
It was very easy and there was no line when we got there.
You guys did vote over here at the Austin Public Library, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we got to the event around like noon and there was like hardly any line. It was like very quick too. Like there were already people in there. It was really fast.
Awesome. Yeah. So were you guys already going to early vote, or did you see this event and was like, guys, we got to go to the event and vote?
No, we were motivated ahead of time. I was really excited about the event because like I wanted to vote like with my community and like feel like a happy voting experience, even though like the election may not turn out. You know?
Awesome. How does it feel to be out here with your community, just really pushing the word to vote?
Yay, happy.
It feels
exciting. Yeah, it's awesome. Especially after being tucked away for so many months.
Yeah. Talk about it being tucked away. Yes, we've all been cooped up in the house trying to stay safe from the coronavirus. But now we're out here. Obviously, we're masked up. Yeah. So we're ready. So tell me, what do you guys want to come out of this election? Not who you want to win, because this is all about voting, right? Just making sure your voices are heard. Yeah. What outcome do you want to have out of all of this?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I really want to feel like my voice has been heard and like I'm participating in like my local government and my local community. And I think I did that today. Like it felt like really empowering to get out there and vote. Sorry, my mask is on.
What about you?
I think I just want, like, with everything going on with the Supreme Court right now, I don't want to feel that. I feel uncomfortable all the time with it, and I kind of want that feeling to start dissipating a little bit. So it'll feel like a nice move forward.
Yeah. Well, you got the hard part over. You already went out and voted. Do you guys vote early all the time, or is this your first time voting early?
I voted early in the past.
Yeah,
Okay.
I try to. Yeah.
And why did you guys feel like that's important to vote early and not wait till November 3rd?
Mostly time for myself. Like, I work like 9 to 5 every day, so it's like I can't like do it during the day, you know, or depend on the lines the day of.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. I'm anxious about it, so I want to get it over with.
Okay. Well, guys, you guys have to get up and dance and have some fun. You were sitting over here with your friends, holding up your sign. It's such a cute sign. What does it say? Pride at the polls. Yes. And I'm really feeling the pride, right, for the LGBTQ community.
Got it.
God, it's always a tongue tie for me. But you know, for everyone, right?
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.
Enjoy your time, and make sure you guys continue to tell everyone to get out and vote. And we're gonna toss it to. Okay, never mind. We're not gonna toss it. I'm gonna keep talking.
Nice to see all of you.
All right, and the event is about to start again. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
We have restrooms available right over here on this side, the little seating area. You'll see a little cutout, and there's 2 restrooms over there. Just wanted to make sure people know. Go pee, do your business. Have fun. All right. Bye.
So I spoke with the organizer of today's event. His name is Nathan, and he told me, you know, he thought of this 7 weeks ago. He put this event together, and, you know, he honestly just felt like the community needed to come out as a whole and make sure their voices are heard, but also to support one another. And that's what this event is about, supporting one another, no matter who you love, what you look like, or who you are voting for, right? That's what this event is about. It's about unity. And throughout the week, I have been interviewing different people at the polls. And honestly, that message is what everyone has said they want to come out of this event. They want unity, they want togetherness, and they just want everyone to be treated equally. It's the United States. So we're gonna be out here, rather the event will be out here going on till 4, but the organizer, Nathan, said they may stay out here a little longer if things be a little too fun, you know? So right now, you see people holding up their vote signs, and that's actually Nathan right there with the vote sign and the Pride at the Poll sign. And then I'm not sure if you guys can see, but there's a performer over there. She just performed, did an amazing dance over there in the red dress. She did a couple of flips in the hills. I don't know how she did that, but she did it. It's right there. But like I said, guys, this is just a great opportunity for us to get out here and vote and have fun and gather as a community and make sure that our voices are heard. So I'm gonna toss it back to our crew over there at the desk. It looks like Hannah's over there dancing. She got some friends. What's up, Hannah? Hi guys, as you can see, we've made some more friends over here. We are having fun out here today. I want to introduce you to my absolute beautiful, stunning friends. They just walked in and everybody just couldn't help but stare at them. Behind me here we have Diamond. Hello darling. And here we have Amber. Hi. And guys, they're a couple of unicorns because they're actually from Austin, born and raised. I know, rare to meet people these days that are actually from Austin, but hey, why are you guys out here today? Tell me just kind of, you know, what you're hoping to achieve here.
Well, we're out here to encourage people to come out and vote, and also have pride your vote. Make sure, even if you're LGBTQ, that you need to vote. We all need to vote. So make sure we do that.
Absolutely. Diamond, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling wonderful. I'm actually excited because this is our very first Pride event since COVID wiped Pride out. So I'm really excited to be here and entertain everybody and make sure that we're voting, as she said.
Have you guys kind of bumped into old friends today? Like, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Tell me a little bit about that, kind of reuniting as you guys are also getting that vote in today.
gave us another opportunity to see people that we have not seen in a long time. I used to be in the club every other week, all the time. So I get to see people who I no longer get to see because one bar closed, so I'm not going to get to see them all the time. So I get to connect with them while we're here. So it's good.
Why is this vote for the LGBTQ community more important than it's really ever been for you guys? Why do you think that?
I think it is because you look at kind of the person in the office right now and doesn't really value the LGBTQ community and doesn't, put a lot of things out there. So I think it's really important for the LGBTQ to vote now for change, to make a change.
What about kind of the younger crowd? Why is it so important for them to sort of educate themselves on this issue, especially if they are in the LGBTQ community?
Because this is their future. So I think one thing that's really important is that they need to know that this is their future and this will definitely affect their future. So if they want to see a different future, then they need to change it.
Love that. Anything else you guys want our viewers to know and just kind of how you're feeling?
Just make sure you vote. Vote and stay safe.
It's so easy and it's so fun too. There's a lot of live performances out here. Are you guys going to do any performances today, or are you just? Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
It'll just be like a little duet, a little cute duet. Walk around, be cutesy and little doll-like.
Oh, and you guys, are you part of a different group, or are you just kind of friends?
Well, this is actually my drag mother. So we actually do perform a lot together. So this will be kind of like, something that everybody wants to see, a norm for us.
You're best friends. How is that sense of community? Although you haven't seen these people, how is it kind of helping you get through these times, still having these friendships?
Just letting you know that you still have people out there that you can hang out with. So that's another important thing. I've been able to hang out with her and a few other of our closest friends and be able to go a couple of places, even though we shouldn't have. But we went to like beaches and stuff like that just to hang out.
Together in our own little friend group. So we've been quarantined together since the very first start.
Oh my gosh, and I like your little masky. You have it all bedazzled. Look at this. Diamond, darling. You look great. Do you guys want to pose? I feel like we need to do like an old-fashioned little fashion show. Do you want to give our camera just a little poses here? Yes, they walked in, darling. Their dresses were shining, shining, shining. They look amazing. The makeup is insane. I need some tutorials. Girl, you guys look so good, and you just have such a joyful energy.
Thank you.
And that is what this day is about. Thank you, Amber and Diamond. They're wonderful, guys. Now we are actually going to head over to Darrenisha, and she has met some friends as well. Hi, Darrenisha.
Hey, Hannah, we're on the other side of the building here at Austin City Hall. I'm here with Skylar, one of the organizers of today's event, and he actually is with Austin Black Pride. Yes, we got it. So
you got it right.
Yes, I got it right. We were practicing before this.
Right.
So, Skylar, why was it so important for you guys to be a part of today's event?
Well, actually, our fearless leader, Sheldon Darnell, he's always been big on the community and doing our civic duty. So it is our civic duty as not only Americans, but a part of the LGBT community to be out here, and get people and urge them to go vote. It's very important that your voice be heard. A lot of time we always complain, oh this, oh that, but you never go vote. So this is the opportunity for us as a community to urge people to go vote.
Have a lot of your friends and family said they're going to get out and vote?
Of course, like voting is a ritual for my family.
Okay.
Actually, when I turned 18, my grandmother took the church van and put all my cousins in the van, and we all went and voted for the first time.
Wow,
so
that was fun.
Yeah, it was. And then, I'm originally from Dallas, so a lot of my family are, a part of the local government, so it's always been a big thing for us to go vote.
Awesome.
Yes,
so how does it feel to be out here with your community, just having fun and getting that word out?
It feels great. It feels great to be able to share what we do with the community as well. I love it. I love love. I love being able to, like I said, be out here and just urge people to vote.
Awesome. So were you part of the planning of all of this?
No, actually,
Okay.
Sheldon was. Sheldon's a part of the planning, but Sheldon actually asked of the board. So the board members of Austin Black Pride, we do a lot of events, and so he asked us to come out and just be a part.
What are some of the events you guys do here in the community?
Oh, so we actually Austin Black Pride is actually in June, the first week in June.
Okay.
Of course, COVID came around and They haven't left yet. So yeah, we did that. We did a lot of different mixes. We do a lot of partnerships with Kind Clinic, Vivint Health, a lot of trans organizations as well. So we're all in the community. We're all in the community.
Okay. Do you dance too? Do you perform?
No, I know. I sit back in the background.
You sit back in the cut.
Okay, back in the cut and just watch. That's not me. But we do have a lot of people on our board that are drag performers.
Okay.
Shania Narcisse.
Okay.
She's a performer as well. So yeah, we do it all.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Skylar, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, you have some fun and get out there and dance.
I will.
I know you don't perform, but it's time for all of us to have fun. All right, we're gonna send it over to Hannah and Tony over there.
Hey guys, we're back here outside Austin Public Library. We've encountered our next voter. His name is Kiro Louie. Just got done voting, and Kiro, take us through the experience just now. How is this time different than previous elections?
This is probably one of the fastest ways of voting. I mean, especially because it's voting early, but the line isn't too bad right now. Everyone's super friendly. There's a lot of excitement and buzz. I'm just voting. Pride at the polls has been pretty great so far.
You didn't just vote, you voted early, well before the November 3rd deadline. Take us through why you felt it was important to make sure that your ballot was casted well before.
Yeah, so, I mean, first off, just worried about the pandemic, so wanting to make sure that I get my vote out as safe as possible. But then also, just with this election that's going on and everything that's being said, I think as important as mail-in ballots are, trying to get as many votes in person and counted so that there's no way to really contest it is going to be key for this election this year.
And I noticed that you were with a few other people. You guys did it together. Yes. Take me through, it seems like it's a community type experience, something that you want to share with the people who mean the most to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy way to make sure that all your friends and family are voting. So for me, it was just very easy to be like, hey, do you all want to vote with me? There's this event going on this Saturday, so like, why not all just show up together and just get done together?
And you know, there's the event going on down the street outside City Hall, Pride at the Polls, an event literally designed to make voting fun and not so much maybe a chore as some people would look at it. What does that kind of event mean to you? The fact that there are people out there who are trying to encourage, you know, excitement and support around doing your civic duty.
It means a lot. I mean, as someone who's been voting for over a decade now, especially with 2016 having a lot of voter apathy and not as much as excitement, it's really great to see, especially my community, the queer community coming out together, trying to make this an event for everyone of all ages and all genders, races, and so forth, and really just show that we really care about our vote counting.
You mentioned some of the nonprofit work that you do as an influential force in convincing you and instilling that voting is something that's important to do. Can you tell our viewers about the work that you do and just the culture that it promotes to come out to the polls?
Yeah, so I mainly work with Out in Tech Austin. We're an LGBTQ nonprofit around the globe. And what our main goal is just to make the world more diverse, more equal for everyone. And events like this really kind of lend itself to getting my own community and kind of showing myself as a community leader to come out, vote, and make sure that everyone understands that their right to vote is so important. And you can do so without it being a chore, and just you can do it with friends, family, and so forth.
And I'm assuming you're going to walk down the road a few blocks and now go have some fun up right at the polls?
Yes.
Anything that you're most looking forward to surrounding that event?
Getting to go and meet some of my fellow community members. With the pandemic, I haven't been able to see a lot of my community kind of grouped up, so I'm very excited for that. And also just heading over with my boyfriend now.
Well, Kiro, thanks so much for taking the time today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
We'll send it back over to you guys at City Hall.
Thank you so much, Jake. So are you having fun, Hannah?
I am, Tony. I'm still dancing. And you know what? It feels fantastic out here. The energy, I'm not even going to lie. Earlier with some of the dancers, I started kind of tearing up. I've I've missed this. I miss this. This right here is what Austin is. When I think of Austin, just, growing up, like, this event is fantastic, and it's a pretty good show up today.
Yeah, absolutely. A real community event for really everybody. Obviously, the name of the event is Pride at the Polls. It is meant to encourage members of the LGBTQ community to come together, not only as a community to enjoy each other's company today, but also perhaps most importantly, or in fact most importantly, Hannah, to exercise their right to vote.
Absolutely, and some of the interviews we've had today has really emphasized that sense of community and coming out here and showing, hey, we're doing this together and we want our voices heard and we want to advocate for one another, right?
Absolutely. There has been music over loudspeakers today. There's a fabulous DJ.
Yes.
Miss Whitney Houston, of course, a gay icon
Tony
herself.
Still isn't dancing, guys.
Still
What
not
do we do with
dancing.
him?
I mean, really, for people who don't know me, maybe you've seen on Instagram,
Yes.
I have 2 left feet, the ultimate dad moves I have.
Come on, Tony.
So yeah, no, I have my little signature move that I'll do sometime for you,
we're
It's quite the dad move.
I just love this, though. I absolutely love this. I can't say it enough. We've just met so many incredible people who are coming out here, and there's some folks over here on the side of the road here that's kind of waving on to the traffic, and they have different signs.
And of course, people are responding by honking their horns
We love a good
and
honk.
waving.
If you are driving downtown today, please honk us, come out, say hello. We definitely want to see you.
Of course, we are broadcasting live across all of our KVUE digital platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, of course, on our website, KVUE.com. Speaking of our website, KVUE.com, we've got a lot of information there about early voting locations. As we've been saying, early voting is really going on through October 30th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at a number of different locations throughout Travis County, and just record number of people have been turning out to vote. Since early voting started on Tuesday, we had the opportunity to talk just a little while ago to Travis County Clerk Dana DeBeauvoir, who reported that 154,000 people have voted in person so far in Travis County. She says that shatters by far any records that we have had here in Travis County. But now we have a special guest we want to talk to as well, Hannah.
Absolutely. We have Jessica Suka here, and we really just want to talk about kind of, the importance of people showing up here today, Jessica, and tell us about who you're with and why you're out here today.
Hi, I'm with the Transgender Education Network of Texas, and I'm also co-chair for GLESN Austin.
This is great. I think this event is going swimmingly. Everyone's just having a great time, and most importantly, they're having their voices heard.
Absolutely, and when I went and voted just a few minutes ago, I saw all kinds of people from this event showing up and voting. So I really think the event is making a difference.
And in regards to just kind of the local LGBTQ community, why is it also so important that they show up today and get that vote in, get that early vote in?
The last 4 years have been a constant attack on LGBTQIA people, and it doesn't have to be that way. We can live out and proud of who we are, but it has to happen starting today, and we have to vote in order to make that happen.
What message do you have for maybe some of the younger folks in this community that maybe don't have the courage to come out and make their voices heard or even be a part of this type of event?
You are loved, you are valid, and you are important.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Anything else that you want our viewers to know about this event today and kind of the importance of coming out here?
Please vote to support the LGBTQIA people in your life.
And kind of throughout, your years, what made you want to be so heavily involved in this and advocate for others and kind of pave the path for them going forward?
When I started to come out, I was terrified. I was terrified of losing my family. I was terrified of losing my job. And the reason I've been able to find the joy in my life is because of the LGBTQIA people on whose shoulders I stand. The people who came before me, and I just want to help future generations be out and proud of who they are.
That's what's been so cool is a lot of people talking about kind of chosen family and sort of the friends that they have made along the way, but really kind of the decisions they've been able to make with that confidence. It gains confidence in you.
Absolutely. That my chosen family are always there for me. They're there for me whenever I need them. And for a lot of people, a lot of LGBTQIA people, their families are not there for them.
Right, and I think that's the dark side that a lot of people don't realize.
40% of LGBTQIA kids end up homeless.
That is absolutely terrible. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for coming out here today. Once again, guys, you can go right down the street to the Austin Library. It's going to be open till 7 p.m. Jessica, what else do we need to know about this event today? It looks like we still have some fun live performances coming up.
It goes on for quite a bit more time. Come on down and vote. I'm speaking in about 20 minutes.
Yay!
And yeah.
And tell me more about your nonprofit too, if people want to learn about that and really just kind of educate themselves, whether they are in the LGBTQ community or not.
Yeah, so the Transgender Education Network of Texas does education and advocacy for transgender people across the state of Texas. We are the only trans-led organization in the state that is doing this work, and to find more information you can go to transtexas.org.
Absolutely. In regards to just rights for trans people, I think that sometimes there's kind of a misunderstanding of it's still a very much a struggle in 2020 to just get everyday rights.
For so many trans people in Texas, just living their lives is a struggle, and especially when it comes for Black and Indigenous transgender people of color. When we did an event just a few years ago, I was listening to a speaker, and she was describing feeling hunted. Every year after year, the number of trans people murdered in America today for who they are has been on the increase.
And let's talk a little bit about kind of just pride and what that really means for a lot of people, and just the joy that today is supposed to bring, and just wear these beautiful outfits and just showing up. What does that mean to have pride?
In 2015, I remember standing on the sidelines of Austin Pride, and it was before I had come out. It was before I had found the joy of just living honestly and truthfully. And I remember standing there and just crying, watching all of the people proud and just being themselves. It was beautiful and amazing, and it was certainly one of the things that drove me to continue to work to make a difference.
I absolutely love that. I can even just see in your eyes how much that moment meant to you, and I really appreciate you sharing all of this with us. And I myself felt emotional earlier watching them dance. Everyone's just, feeling the joy of this moment. Jessica, thank you so very much, guys. And we're actually going to head back over to Darrenisha Heron. She just keeps on making friends out there. Hi, Darrenisha.
Hi, as you know. Hey, Hannah. Yeah, I'm here with my girl, Gazelle. She says she voted 2 days ago, but she dragged her friends out here to come and vote.
Yes, vote, people.
How was it? How was the lines over there? Did you get to see?
Yeah, not bad at all. Super easy. Less than 10 minutes took.
Why was it so important to you to drag your friends out here to vote, even though you already went out and voted 2 days ago?
Just because our voices need to be heard. It's super important. I think it's a decisive decision this year. They gotta vote.
Not who you're voting for, but who are you, or rather why was it so important for you to come out here and vote early?
Because, just to make sure that we can get as many people as we can, get it out of the way. It's just, and it's not that hard, it's easy.
You said it's not what?
It's not hard, it's super easy,
It's a quick process,
yes,
right?
It's a quick process.
How does it feel to be out here with the LGBTQ community and celebrating and having fun?
Oh, it's awesome just to see how many people are out here celebrating us. We want our voice to be heard, and it's so awesome. It's a great feeling.
Do you always vote early, or is this something new that you decided to do?
Something new we decided to do. Usually, I wait a little bit, but yeah.
But this year you're like, I need to go
We
now.
need to vote now.
Were you feeling the pressure? And really, what was behind that pressure for you to like I need to go now and not wait till November 3rd?
Just because, just afraid, basically the lines or anything, but like I said, it was super easy. Awesome process.
And let's see what your sign say. Vote, vote, vote. Awesome. Are you going to be out here dancing and stuff? Or?
Yes, I'm waiting for the march. We're dancing, bringing people, encouraging people to come out and vote more.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to add?
People, go out there and vote. It's easy. Vote.
Right. And you have until the 30th it early, and if you don't do it then, you'll have to wait till November 3rd. And like she just said, the lines have not been long here, so you can come out here to the Austin Public Library, cast your vote, come over here, jam out with us, dance, and watch some cool performances. And we'll be out here for a while. The event is expected to last until 4 o'clock. It's not raining, it's a little cloudy, but you know, we're making it work. So we're gonna head it over to Hannah, back over there on the other side of City Hall.
Hey guys, we're actually here outside Austin Public Library. We found two more people who just got done voting, Teresa and Melinda. Guys, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us today. You just got done experiencing a voting process that I'm sure is unlike any you've probably ever experienced before. Can you guys take our viewers through what that experience was like inside?
Oh, sure. Well, we were greeted very warmly and given a little finger caught so that when we touched all the buttons we needed to touch, we were protected. Everybody had their mask on. We signed in with our IDs and voted. It took all of 5 minutes.
And there was sanitizer. It was very
great.
Safe and easy to do. I encourage it highly to everyone.
Safe, easy to do. You guys voted early as well, and in a pandemic that takes on, you know, heightened importance, not a long line at all. No. Why was it important for you to come out here well before November 3rd and make sure that your ballot was cast early?
Well, yeah, there's, you know, when you ask that question, it's almost overwhelming to think about why it's important. There's so many issues. You know, there's the pandemic for sure that's affecting our daily lives right now, but there's also civil rights are under threat, and climate change, all of the things that have to do with the environment, the big issues and the small issues in our daily lives and in our lives for the long term. All of those things are important to me, and it's clearly led to more people coming out to vote. Voting early means we're less likely to be in crowds. That's for sure. But also, I just want to make sure that my voice gets heard.
Teresa, 97% of Travis County is registered to vote this year. We've seen a ton of participation so far in the early voting process. I want to say there was a 4-day stretch at the start of this that eclipsed any 4-day stretch of the entire 2016 election. I mean, when you hear numbers like that, what does that tell you, and how happy and excited does it make you?
Well, I'm always excited to vote. I'm just a voting nerd, but it's great that Travis County residents have come out to vote. We have a lot of things to take care of in our civic lives, and voting is the one way we can make our voice heard. So I'm so happy that so many people have registered to vote, and I really hope that now that they're registered, they actually come out and vote.
Melinda, you told me that now that you guys are done voting, you're going to make the 3-4 walk block down to City Hall and participate in the Pride at the Polls event. Mm-hmm. How exciting is an event like that where you get to interact with people who, just like yourselves, are excited about voting?
So excited. Because of COVID-19, we weren't able to have the usual Pride celebrations. Both Queer Bomb and Austin Pride were canceled, and for good reason. But it is just so exciting to interact with the community in this way, to celebrate Pride.
Well, thanks so much for your time, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and enjoy the Pride at the Polls event down the street.
We will. Thanks so much.
Thanks. We'll send it back over to you guys outside City Hall.
Couple of moments we're going to hear from a couple of the officials here. The DJ is piping through. Lots of fun out here at Austin City Hall on the front lawn, and the crowd continues to, you know, trickle in. People are very festive. There's a lot of enthusiasm. But again, as Jake has been talking about, and we all have been talking about, the main purpose for today's event is to encourage people to vote. It is so important, no matter your political affiliation, no matter how you plan to vote, the point is to exercise your right, your constitutional right to vote. And again, we've been seeing record numbers of voters, not only here in Travis County, but really across the state and across the country among places that do have early voting. Travis Hayes County Clerk Dana DeBevois reporting that in person since Tuesday when early voting started, we have seen 154,000 people voting in person. We're averaging more than 30,000 people per day, and we've seen similarly large numbers of people voting in Hayes County to our south and Williamson County to our north. There are, of course, important races across the country. The presidential race dominating a lot of the national conversation. But as Mayor Steve Adler was pointing out a little while ago, we've got a number of local races here in Austin and statewide races across the state of Texas that are similarly important as well. So I'm just going to step out of the shot a little bit, and you can see what's happening. You can see people carrying their rainbow flags. You can see people dancing and having a good time with the music and continuing to have a great time. Obviously, a lot of rainbow flags, people with their vote signs standing along Cesar Chavez, people honking at them as they do that. Woo-hoo! So again, just a very, very festive crowd out here. Hannah Rucker has joined me now as well. Hannah, what do you think about everything you're seeing?
Tony, I'm thriving. I'm having a great day. I love this energy. We're getting people, we're voting, we're dancing, we're loving life in downtown Austin. This is Austin. This is a great place to be, and it's, everyone's just having joy. I'm looking around, people are handing out the flags, they're dancing, they're giddy, they're loving life.
And Hannah, of course, as we have mentioned as well, the Austin Pride Parade and Austin Pride Festival, signature events for Austin's LGBTQ community, did not happen this year. Of course,
right.
Many things that were supposed to happen this year did not happen this year, but this is really one of the first opportunities that Austin's gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender community has been able to come together. And what officials tell us is the reason they organized this event was so the gay community, lesbian community, bisexual community, transgender community could all come together, Hannah, in this spot to sort of have a good time, something of a party atmosphere, of course, but then walk just a few steps down Cesar Chavez to City Hall and cast their vote as well.
Oh, absolutely. This is a great atmosphere, and that's what I love about it. Is you get it done, and exactly, you can just walk, 100 yards or so, and it's just you're right here. And, there's a lot of speakers lined up for today, and this is a bigger conversation, and it has been cool to hear people say, oh, I haven't seen these friends in months and weeks, and, this is a community, and people haven't been able to feel that in a long time. So today is so important, not just about early voting, but, getting that community back.
That's right, and a lot of the venues, Hannah, over time, where people have maybe gathered as a gay and lesbian community have not been able to do so because of all of the closures that we have seen, not only in Austin, but across the country and across the state as well. But again, the festivities continue here until about 4 o'clock this afternoon. The crowd continuing to have a good time. There is a lot of enthusiasm out here. Austin Mayor Steve Adler has been out here as well, and he was talking to us, Hannah, not only about, what he has seen from his perspective here in Austin, saying that Austin is really a civic-minded community that really, really does exercise its right over time to vote, but even he was saying just how struck he is by the truly massive voter turnout that we have seen just in 4 days.
Absolutely. You got up bright and early, didn't you? People are camping out. They got everyone's posting about their coffee, their snacks. You can make a whole day of it, honestly, and plan around it. I know some people are frustrated with the lines, but it's so worth it, isn't it?
And while this is a very festive atmosphere, some of those polling sites have also had festive atmospheres as well, as people sort of maintain a social distance. They're wearing their masks, but they're chatting, they're getting to know each other. And another thing too, Hannah, just from my own experience this morning that I want to point out is that when we first arrived, my husband and I, shortly after 7 o'clock this morning, the line really did look daunting, and I thought, my gosh, am I going to be able to get here?
Right.
Am I going to, exactly how long is it going to take? But then we were very happy to learn that the line moved significantly faster than we thought it would.
Oh, absolutely. Once again, you get in there, maybe get a good book going, make some friends in the line, and that's going to be great. Okay, guys, they're actually about to start up another speaker here. We are actually going to toss over here and see what's going on the stage over here.
I'm going to do a little bit better and make some noise. It's free. Everyone, if you're performing.
Hey, Hannah, we're about to start the programs on the next portion of this program. We're told that there's going to be 2 speakers and then they're going to do a performance.
How y'all doing today?
Yeah, I see things are starting to get riled up here. So like I said, we're expecting a speaker, a performer, and then everyone's going to walk to the polls at the Austin Public Library. So I'm going to step aside so you guys can see what's happening here.
Very different. I didn't want to mess up her name. Okay, Ms. Jessica Sukup is the Vice Board Chair of the Transgender Education Network of Texas and the Co-Chair of the GLSE in Austin and a queer, trans, pansexual TED speaker, trainer, author, and activist, and determined to make a positive difference in the lives of the queer and transgender people through visibility, education, and advocate work. All make a round of welcome for Miss Jessica. Guys, loud, baby.
Last Sunday was National Coming Out Day. Think of your coming out story. Remember the fear you felt before you came out? Remember how it felt worrying about loss in your life and worrying about your future? And we all know people who had it even worse. That is not how it has to be. The last 4 years has been a constant attack on LGBTQIA people. Our government has attacked trans kids in schools by rescinding trans-affirming guidance. They've attacked our health by giving medical people the right not to treat us and undermining our insurance coverage. They've whittled away at college students' ability to use Title IX protections. They've undermined our ability to educate. They've undermined our ability to educate on diversity and inclusion. They've introduced bathroom bills, attempting to deny us the ability to exist in public spaces. They've made it harder for us to adopt children and for LGBTQIA children to find who need adoption, to find affirming families. They provided guidance to homeless shelters, making them more dangerous for transgender people, even going as far as to describe ways to pick trans women out of the crowd. They've supported discrimination against us by businesses. They've even attempted to change legal definitions to define transgender people out of existence. They've packed federal courts with hand-picked judges to rule against us, and are even working to undo our hard-earned right to marry. Over and over and over again, they're trying to roll back the clock to a time where it was dangerous to be out and proud of who we are, and their efforts are working. LGBTQIA primary and secondary school kids live in constant fear of bullying and harassment. Each year, even more trans people, especially Black and Indigenous trans people of color, are murdered in America for who they are. It doesn't have to be this way. It is possible for us to live every day without looking over our shoulders. We can expect more from our government. Our children can be taught about queer families and the importance of consent. We can be fulfilled in our jobs to which we bring our whole selves. Queer kids can go to school and feel safe and confident in who they are. It's possible for us to live a life of safety and happiness and love. All of this won't be solved tomorrow. It will be a journey. But that journey begins with your vote today. Love can win once and for all. Vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jessica, for all you do for the community. Now give her another round of applause, please. All right, if you guys get thirsty or need any snacks, they'll be available over here. Shout out to, I don't want to mess up the name, I wrote it down. Golden Peak Restaurant. Okay, so they They got like chips and hummus and stuff over there, water. And as well, for all the drag performers and MCs, we have QR codes around stationed at these tables if you guys would like to donate. Austin Black Pride will be able to distribute the money to all the MCs and performers and stuff tonight. Hey, let's wave back. Hey y'all, make sure y'all go out and vote. Excuse me. If you guys don't know where to vote, just take a nice lovely walk straight down that way to the Austin Public Library where you guys can vote. Okay, our next speaker is Brianna Jenkins. I met her a couple weeks ago, and when she spoke, it spoke volumes to me. Moving back here home in Austin, Texas, I've been back for 2 years. I have been blessed to meet a whole new list of cool new people that actually fix the city and not cause problems in the city and for our queer and black communities. So let me give you a little bio about Brianna Jenkins. Brianna Jenkins was given the title the love child of Oprah, Beyonce, and Michelle Obama. Bri Jenkins is a public speaker and an activist for the LGBTQIA+ female and people of color communities and has years of experience using a platform to evoke change. Thank you. Okay, she is also serving her second term as co-director of the New Leaders Council Austin Chapter Board, as an ad hoc board member and Lone Star Victim Advocacy Program, and has served on boards of Keep Austin Fed and Austin Black Pride. Thank you. She is also the host of her own podcast show called The Tea with Bri, where she sit and chat with different guests every week about whatever topics the guests choose. She is also be the subject of her for a documentary entitled Uncomfortable Spaces that will be released at the end of 2020. Please help me give Bri a warm welcome. Make some noise for Bri Jenkins.
Hi everyone. Hold on. Good afternoon. My name is Brianna Jenkins. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm a black queer woman who has already voted. I am so honored to share space with you today. I want to start by honoring those we've lost this year. The over 200,000 people who lost their battle with COVID, John Lewis, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, our black siblings who have lost their lives due to police violence and brutality, our trans, non-binary, and genderqueer siblings who we have lost to violence, the LGBTQIA folks who have died by suicide because living in this world was too much for them, and the many others who I haven't mentioned, but I remember you as well. I know we hear every 4 years that this is the most important election of our lifetime, and every 4 years, it is. We believe that America keeps making progress, and then we get to an election year and realize that nothing has changed. We still have black people being murdered by the police, the earth is getting hotter, we have neighbors experiencing homelessness, healthcare and mental health services are still not a basic human right, people with uteruses are being told what to do with their bodies. We are in an endless loop of having the same conversations. As we gear up for this year's election, I want to remind you how important it is for you to vote. With our country's long history of voter suppression, I can understand why people feel as though their votes do not matter. According to Business Insider, around 138 million Americans voted in a 2016 presidential election. However, those 138 million only make up 58% of voting eligible population in the country. That means 42% of eligible voters did not vote in 2016. I want to make something very clear. Every vote matters. The people we elect into office work for us. If you do not like who is working for you, you can vote them out. I hope that each and every one of you who are eligible today go and vote just down the street. If you are here, please know that politics do affect you. Your existence is a political statement, and the folks that get elected into office work for us. So here are some calls to action. First things first. In-person early voting started this week and goes until Friday, October 30th, and Election Day is Tuesday, November 3rd. If you need assistance while voting, please call 866-OUR-VOTE or visit before Election Day. 3, research who your representatives are, specifically City Council, Congressional, State, and Senate House districts. If you want to research candidates, visit ballotready.org. Our voices and votes matter. Let's take back 2020. Thank you.
All right, Reed. Now I see why you are the love child of Oprah, Beyonce, and Michelle Obama. If that don't speak change and speak volume to you guys, I don't know. Hey, I think they like my outfit. How y'all doing today? All right. It's all right to love each other, especially in this time to need. You know, a little love go a little bit long way. I learned that it takes just as double as much energy to be nasty and ugly than to just be nice. So I took 30 minutes to get myself ready this morning. All right, are y'all ready for our next performers? All right, just to make sure, these girls are working for donations. Feel free to tiptoe over here and take a snap of that and tip the performers. Now the next drag performers are, these girls are from Austin, and they are girls of color. And I'm happy to see girls of color in drag now. In the forefront of Austin, we have Amber Nicole Davenport with her lovely daughter, Donna Dior Davenport. They have hot shows going around here in Austin, brunches and stuff. Make sure you go out and support them. And as well, performing with them, we have the Beckys. Y'all make some noise.
Soul sisters, let me hear your flow, sisters. Hey, sister, go, sister, soul, sister, no, you wanna give it a go? Get you.
Hey guys, we're outside Austin Public Library. I'm here with Nicole Azuki. She's a student at UT. She's majoring in psychology. This is the first election that she's voted in because, well, it's the first election she's been eligible to vote in. She told me earlier off camera that it's her time to shine today. Nicole, how does it feel being able to finally participate in this civic process?
Oh, well, it's kind of a little bit strange because I've never participated in politics, no matter how minor it is. So now I'm actually participating actively, and even though it's like one vote, my vote does matter in a way. Well, it does matter, not in a way, it does. So it's kind of a little bit rewarding because now I get to participate, and even though it could go either way, my vote does contribute to whoever gets that, spot, that winning position. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
And that is a very important point, that your vote does matter. And I think it's an important point for people at home who are maybe watching this. Maybe there are people who have been eligible to vote in elections before and have chosen not to. What would be your message to them as to why it's important to make your voice heard?
It's important because despite you thinking that, it's just one person or it's just two people, how do you know that you're not that one person that could have made the difference? I mean, it's not like you can see the future, or can you? But, I mean, your vote, no matter how insignificant you may think it is not insignificant. So you should contribute no matter how small you may think it is. Because overall, your vote does matter. Despite what you may think, one person does contribute to that one more push, that 2%, 1% shove that could make or break either one of the candidates.
What have the conversations been like between you and your friends at UT about the political process? I'm assuming that maybe some of them are tuned into politics, maybe some of them aren't, but all in all, getting young people excited about coming out and voting is important. So take me through just what those interactions have been like leading up to the election in November.
Well, I can't speak for everybody at UT, but I do know my friends are extremely excited to vote. They're like extremely hyped. They're like, I can't wait to vote. When do you want to go? And I'm like, sure, we can go soon. I didn't come with anybody because it's a Saturday. I didn't feel like waking anybody up. But I do know a large vast of them have already voted or are going to vote. I know a couple who say that they don't want to because they don't care. It doesn't matter. It does matter, but
this is their call to action.
This is their call to action. Yeah, like get up and go vote. Please wear a mask, of course, and be safe. So everything in the voting area they're doing all the CDC guidelines. So if your excuse is, I don't want to be around people, I don't want to be touching anything, you don't have to, because they've made it a way that you're not going to really interact with anybody, like one person, and that's it. So that's not an excuse to not vote. And all my friends are really contributing and excited, so why aren't you?
Did you do anything to prepare for today, whether that be looking up your voter registration, just to triple, quadruple check that you were registered to vote, looking up your polling place, or even doing research about some of the ballot measures on the ballot this year?
I did triple check my confirmation. Even though I did get a physical card in the mail, I still looked at it just to make sure it's like voter registration, my name. And then I didn't bring it with me because I didn't have to, because I have my driver's license, and I always carry that with me. But I did triple check I have that, and besides checking I have enough gas in the car to actually get here, I did research which was closest to where I was, because I did something previously before I came here. So I came to this one because it's the closest, like a mile away from where I was. And I also made sure that I knew who was on the ballot, so I wasn't going to be picking like random people. And I made sure I was for sure gonna, I knew who I was gonna select and who I wasn't gonna select for. So I did do my research on the candidates.
That's so awesome. And just as a reminder to our viewers, over on KVUE.com, there is a voter guide. It's comprehensive. It takes us through everyone who's on the ballot, all the measures that are on the ballot, plus where you can find the closest voting location to you. Nicole, I'll leave you with one last question. Voting early, important as it's ever been this year in the middle of a pandemic, you decided to do that. And my guess would be that there's someone in your life who instilled in you the belief that voting and participating is important. Is there someone who maybe you'd like to give a shout out to for instilling that belief in you?
Okay, so besides my mom and my friends, there's a professor, Dr. Levin. He teaches biology, 311D. Every lecture, he's like, go votes, votes, go votes. And I'm laughing because it's like hilarious because a lot of people are like really advocating to go vote. And he's like very participant and like shouting out on who should be voting, the young people, because there's a lot of us that don't vote. So we should be voting, being registered. So yeah, I would like to give a shout out to my mom, my friends, and Dr. Levin.
Well, Nicole, we're going to leave you with one last thing. I have a KVUE official I voted sticker. We've been meaning to give these out to people, but you're actually the first person who I'm going to hand one to. Yay. So congratulations on your first time heading to the polls.
Thank you.
Guys, we're going to send it back to Hannah and Tony over outside City Hall.
All right, Jake, thank you so very much. And how inspiring to hear all of these stories from people voting for the first time or maybe have voted for many years. But really, we are seeing such a range of people who are taking to the polls, Hannah.
What I think is so interesting is, yes, exactly, just kind of getting a small slice of everyone's life and why everyone is so eager to get out, and it's a different reason. You ask anyone right now in downtown Austin and just walk up to them on the street, everyone has a different passionate personal reason that they want to show up and make their voices heard. Today has been fantastic, and right now you might be able to notice the event is slowly clearing out. The reason for that is we have our wonderful drag queens who are actually preparing to walk through downtown Austin. They just wrapped up a performance. The energy today has just been incredible. These performances.
It's been such a lot of fun, and I think a real, moment to uplift not only the LGBTQ community, but Hannah, really the entire community at large. I mean, as we know, we've all been indoors. We've not been able to see our friends. We've not been able to see our family really for months now, but as things slowly start opening up and people slowly start venturing out, this really has been an opportunity, I think, for a lot of people today to spend time together outside at a distance. We've got masks on, everyone here has a mask on, but at the same time, and it really, really has been a fun day as the crowd does start to disperse somewhat.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, like a lot of the folks that we've interviewed today, they haven't been able to go to these clubs and these different places where you would dance and you would meet new people. And so I think that's where the energy is today. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that our drag queens who we've been getting to know and interviewing over the course of the afternoon, we're told they're actually, Hannah, too, they're going to be making their way to the Austin Public Library, one of the early voting locations here in Austin, Travis County, to cast their ballot. They said that they had not voted. They wanted to wait for today for this to happen. But Hannah, the real purpose of the event today, again, was not only to encourage people to vote, but for the community to come together. We talked to Nathan. I talked to him yesterday. Of course, we talked to him today. Talked to him on the phone yesterday in preparation for today. But one of the things that he was saying is that he hopes this Pride at the Polls movement, Hannah, can really spread across the country and that in other cities across the nation, that the gay and lesbian, bisexual, transgender questioning community can all come together to exercise their right. And again, this is not about partisan politics today. This is really about just getting people to the polls so that they can make their own individual decisions about how they want to vote.
That is definitely what's cool about this, is the fact that so many nonprofits have come together to not just encourage voting, but encourage education on some of these issues that are directly impacting this community, a large community here in Austin and in Central Texas. And it's just been great. It's just been, I'm having a great time, Tony.
Yeah, it is. It continues to be fun, even though, as we've said, the crowd has slowly started to disperse. But we now have Darrenisha Heron, who is standing by. Darrenisha, are you having a fun day still?
Hey Tony, we are strutting to the polls right now. I'm here with Robin. She did a beautiful, beautiful performance earlier today. Are you feeling empowered right now to go and vote?
I am. I'm feeling empowered to vote as fabulously as I can right now. I've got all my sisters behind me.
Yes! Yes.
And we're ready to work that vote, honey.
Okay, did you wait till today to go out and vote?
Absolutely. I thought today would be the perfect day with Pride at the Polls. We had so many amazing partners working on the event. I knew there'd be a lot of LGBTQIA plus people here.
Yes.
So the more people I think that we can get, the better.
Yes, I'm feeling fabulous, guys. We are literally strutting to the polls here to the Austin Public Library so that they can go and cast their ballot and let their voices be heard. Why do you think it's so important for everyone, including the LGBTQ community, to get out and vote early, not just, on election day?
Well, our community is constantly facing adversity and discriminatory legislation, and there's only one way to fix that is to get organized, get coordinated, and vote, and let your voices be heard, and to no longer be under attack by people that seek to invalidate or erase us.
Ooh, yes, beautifully said, Robin. Guys, how are y'all feeling right now? Yes, y'all gonna go cast that ballot?
Yes. Gotta make our voices count. We're sashaying to the polls.
Sashaying to the polls,
yes,
honey. Come on, let me see it.
Yeah.
Let me see it. Let's strut. Making our voices be heard, guys, is such a fun way. I've never felt so excited to hit the polls. I'm here with my girls. They all just finished some lovely performances. I know you guys got to see them. They were dropping and flipping it. Yes. So we're headed to Austin Public Library again so they can cast their ballot. Do you usually vote early? Is that something you always do?
This will be the first time that I'm voting early, just because I think it's important now more than ever. This election is the most crucial, I think, that we've faced in our history. So it's important to get our voices heard as soon as possible and make our voice count.
How does it feel to be out here with your community again? We've all been locked up inside of the house.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to celebrate and have fun and really gather. So how does it feel to have your girls back here with you heading to the polls?
It feels like just being at home. We've been locked up and sequestered and in quarantine for so long. So it's so nice to be back with family, people that love and support one another. It's amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Robin. We're almost to the Austin Public Library. So I'm going to head over to Jake. Jake, we'll be seeing you in just a few moments. Okay, never mind. We're gonna keep talking. We're gonna keep walking and headed over with Jake.
Anybody else? Diamond, you want to go?
So, ladies. Okay, so do you guys always vote early?
The last 2 years I have. It's very important. As I started doing drag, I realized I'm also part of a huge community, and we have a large voice, so it's very important that we get our voices out there early and heard early so that we can spare that message to make sure other people have the opportunity to hear it and vote as well.
Thank you so much. I love your outfit. We're going to toss it back over to Tony and Hannah at the desk at the Austin City Hall.
All right, Darrenisha, thank you so much, and we're so happy to see so many people who not only have come out here today, but also are exercising their right to vote. Again, this is what this has all been about today.
Absolutely. What a powerful moment. She's walking there downtown Austin, just a bunch of beautiful drag queens going to cast their vote, and it's just cool. The sense of unity today, I think that's what it's really about, Austin, and we loved everyone we saw today, absolutely.
And we want to remind everybody that on KVUE.com we've got an extensive voter guide for anyone who wants information about the races, as well as locations that you can early vote. As a reminder, early voting does continue until October 30th. The polls are open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Of course, Hannah, everything culminating to November 3rd, a huge historic night. It is going to be not only in Austin and across the state of Texas, but really across the country as well. And historians have said this will likely be one of, if not the most important presidential race of our time.
Absolutely. Get it done if you can. You can head here to Austin Public Library until 7 p.m. tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We're actually going to send you guys off on your way on this Saturday.
Have a great day. And by the way, we'll see you on November 3rd on KVUE for all of the results.
Yes, we will.